Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have like some really cool adventures.
Something just took off through here, and it wasn't a bug. Came right from the ground, and it wasn't a bug.
Okay, so the first minute and a half, first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I gotta take a look.
It flew right across, from corner to corner.
Okay.
When I was building the cemetery, well, it's existing. We're doing a remodel to it. My project manager, she's sitting in. I had taken off. My engineer had taken off. My PM's still in the trailer, and all of a sudden, it started shaking like fucking crazy. And she had something going on at home. I think she was pulling fucking bad energy. She was just full of bad energy. And this dust devil is going on. We just had it surveyed, so we got stakes in the ground with ribbons on them. This dust devil's going like fucking crazy. All the ribbons are straight down on the stakes. They weren't flying, weren't ruffling. It's fucking shaking like crazy. This trailer's shaking like crazy. She's flipping out. All of a sudden, dust devil drops. She packed her shit and ran out of there. She's like, hey, I ain't staying late anymore by myself. She's scared shitless. But I had thousands of pictures of different shit. And the diocese, our liaison, he fucking dug it. Then the people in the mortuary dug it. They're like, fuck. Nice. Keep sending them to us. I had this one guy, Hawaiian guy, big motherfucker. He's driving, he's doing my underground utilities. He's in a backhoe all fucking day. I say, Lo, come here, check this out. What do you got? Come here. I'll show you these pictures. I got them on my computer. I said, pick out one of those little round circles. Okay, that one. Picked out the tiniest one. Okay, let's blow it up.
Face?
There's a face. Half the head's blown off. Looking at him. And he's like, all his hair starts standing up. You got the fuck out of Dodge.
Find more.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Well, there's ways, like, if somebody, because I get a lot of people send me their photos to analyze them, because I have ways to do that, obviously.
Yeah.
So most of the time I'm a bearer of bad news. Like, it's a reflection off a window or whatever. But with orbs, I usually analyze the color, and I usually send them like a few of like the studies that I went over to when I studied the color of orbs and what they mean, because they're in levels. So when you tell me red, like that's not a common thing.
I've gotten that twice. We're at a wake for her cousin, where all the family's buried, and I'm cruising up. We're cruising up to go see Nani and Papa and her dad, and right at the bottom, there's like this meadow and trees in the back. And I take a picture. There's this red, big as a balloon, in the trees. And I'm like, shit, man, okay. Start going. Get in my truck. Because I took it through rolled the window down, I took the picture. There it is. We start taking off up the hill. And in my rear view mirror, it was on the bumper.
Oh.
Big red fucker. I was like, wow, let's get the fuck out of here. Something's going on.
Leave now, a male, and leave a female, like right after each other.
Let's see if something else pops up with that. I usually don't take like the leave now or get out unless I ask for it.
And then the female said it.
But I want to see if something correlates with what they have on there. So what do you have going on with yours?
Well, I got a couple. I got a 4.6 and a 3.8 and a 3.6. That's what I got out of it. That was the highest. But often it's just zero most of the time.
Oh, sorry again. What happened there? Come on, who's out here with us? You come by, show yourself. You can come by, say hello. I'm not going to hurt you. I'd like to see you, though. And you know you can talk to me. Lots of people come to see me. We have that sense.
Jerry!
Connie!
Are you getting anything?
I got a couple things.
What?
Like when he first gave it to me right there, something came shooting across. Then I seen a little something over here, kind of float
I got
by.
USB.
Huh?
A USB. Oh, that's cool though. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll see if it's something. It didn't look like a bug or nothing. There wasn't nothing there.
We're also near this corner, so that's where I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. We're gonna give Connie's good. She had to leave and leave now, so just wanted to see if you guys had anything new.
I didn't mean to say that. It was leave today. The other one was leave.
Gotcha.
Was it? No, I don't know why.
But I wanted to see if like that type of mentality came out of something else. Like, okay. People feel model who stay for a good 10 to 15 minutes. So those leave nows and get out, like that's not shit that normally happens. At least for me, it doesn't. Even the other locations that I investigate that are not on my tour, I never get those type of things. So like to me, that's movie Hollywood stuff. So unless I ask for it, like, hey, if you want us to leave, say this word. Like I usually ask for a code word, so that way they kind of know. And it's usually not a leave. It's usually just give me something like go home or the word home. Like I'll take that as like if I ask for it and I get home, we're gonna go. Just out of respect. So that's just like how I like to operate, even when I'm going to another space, you know, that's not with strangers. It's a, hey, if you don't want me here, here's your code word. Just let me know what this code word is. And it's usually something weird that I don't normally find from radio stations. So our next guy, like there's a code word for Dr. Ladd to let me know that he's there. So if he's starting to come through, it's a word you would not hear on the radio. So if that person hears it or says it, and I don't tell you what it is until the end of the night. Okay. So if it does come up, I'll let you know what it is. Okay. It's an interesting space tonight. Like this space is usually like a hit or miss. Like we usually hit it right on the head, or it's like there's nothing here. But with those readings that we're getting, it's kind of hard to say. So again, Lily's missing things in real time. You guys all know that. So are you. So I was actually kind of hoping that you were going to be sticking close to Jerry, so that way in case you miss something, it would show up on the audio from the camera. Oh. Because your spirit box doesn't record anything. I have to rely on you, and then you guys get to rely on the audio.
Oh, okay.
So the next location is going to be a lot different than this one, and it is our last stop.
Okay.
So I'll explain that. What do you got stuff coming through?
Yeah, Ava lately. There was another word. Ava lately and label and rock and oxygen.
Got a whole lot of weird words coming out of your word lines. So let's head over towards this wall. I'll explain what Jerry's new camera is and what it does, and then I'll.
Well, why do we have weird words?
I don't know, because normally if we're going to get anything out of this location, it's usually to one person. So I'll find like 4 or 5 relevant piratey terms that'll come out of your box, or somebody with a spirit box will get 4 or 5 terms. Like this just seems kind of like scattered about. That's why I'm kind of like, we might not have a whole lot going on here. Obviously the readings are of significance, because again, we don't see those here. Yeah, that's what we want. We want them to be brief. A couple of things about this. First off, Jerry's camera is an infrared camera, so it uses light that we can't see. So all the red dots that you see on there, that is spraying out, like obviously infrared light. We capture a ton of orbs in motion with that guy. So that would be something you guys might want to look in.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to do that.
Yeah. So that get up there, so I want to say just on a price wise, like he's probably holding about 5 or 6 hundred. So it kind of gives you an idea. Yeah, and there's links. Everybody asks me where I get the equipment from, so that's in your guys' field guide.
It's another 3.8.
Everybody asks. What you got now?
He's counting. I had a 3.8.
Yeah, so we're still up in that corner where the transformer's pretty low, so I would expect that. Like I said, it usually goes all the way up to about a 4 to a 6 if we're on the front half.
I gotcha.
Do you guys remember the headache, nausea, dizziness that I warned you about at the beginning? It's because of this location. Let me explain. A couple of years ago, month of September, probably about this temperature, we go to the back just like I always do because I stay out of the way of the other tours and come over and talk about the gunpowder magazine. And I'm giving, before we even get started, the kid next to me, he's like 21, 22 years old, he starts to faint. Like he's dropping like a wet noodle. I gotta pick him up by his armpit, literally, as I'm taking my bag off at the same time, so he doesn't hit his head on the ground. His boyfriend picked him up from the other side of him. We brought him over here to this wall, because I mean, he's limp, like he's done. So we brought him over here, sat him down, we got him some water, he was feeling better, so I told him the story that I've already told you, and this used to be the last stop. So I spread everybody out, go have fun, last hurrah. These two guys pull me aside and say, Nick, we have to tell you, we are 2 transgender males. I had 2 females dressed like males, just like Ann and Mary in the story on the tour. So it makes sense, but it is still unexplainable. So this is the weird shit that I see. Now, the reason why I have you guys show up like 15 minutes early and why I send you guys those texts in the morning is because I need to know if there's a psychic or a medium in the group because I try not to give them a headphone spirit box. I don't want to interrupt what they're already getting. So that's kind of like with what you told me earlier. I said just give me whatever you're getting. I was kind of glad the way things worked out. But most people that practice psychic, medium, tarot, whatever on a regular basis, they usually let me know like right away. So that's why I usually say try to get here 15 minutes early so I can get a feel out for you guys. And that way I know where the equipment needs to go because they all have their own personalities, as I'm sure you guys all picked up on. I think I actually did a pretty good assignment with the devices tonight. You guys are actually doing really well. So far, I always like to give you kind of a synopsis of where we're at. This is about an average night for me. So you guys are capturing little tiny breadcrumbs, which means I'm going to probably find a whole lot more when I get back to the office. So this is about an average night, just so you guys have that idea. Now the past 2 nights, I've had to tell them, like, we've got almost little to nothing happening. So even when I got back to the office, I take that bias out like we had a rough night, and I still put in the good forth effort of trying to find the evidence when I get to the office. I still didn't have much at all, like the smallest breadcrumbs, and some of them were even a stretch. Like, hey, I know this is vague, but this. You guys got the point. But tonight is about average. So Jerry, we can rein it in a little bit, so if you want to.
So
that
what happens on a day that was important to them? So
I'll see a spike in that area.
Huh?
I see a spike. So, like, that's why I told you guys about the wedding day of Eliza coming up. And
so leading up to that, there has to be a lot of energy coming out of it.
Because it's a raised emotion. Anytime I'm looking at a new space, because I do change this every year, all I want to know is the raised emotion. It doesn't have to be death and depravity or something horrible. I look for, what actually happened at this place relevant to this person, and then I start looking at those dates. And even on the top of your guys' data sheet, I separate it by month, and you'll have the relevant dates to our location at the top, so you can re-reference that.
Okay.
So again, I always do that because of that exact reason. What happens is we see a spike. And I will tell you that Eliza's death date was the day before, May 26th. So we're 6 days away from her death date anniversary, and then 7 days away from her wedding date anniversary. Yeah, just in different years. So, all right. So the answers to Ann Bonnie, and then I'll explain what we're doing at our next stop. Did you figure out how to stop that, or you want to keep it running? Okay.
Watch
Up to you. You guys will get the footage from both cameras, by the way, so I figured you guys would enjoy that. And plus, we're going to have a much clearer picture at the next location, because it's not going to be all of the weird colors. It's just going to look like a normal film, but basically with like a night vision on it. So answers to Ann Bonnie, we'll be quick and brief with these so I can explain what we're doing next. We're going to be working together.
Violence.
Bones?
Violence.
Oh, violence. I thought you said bones.
No.
Well, pirates were all violent. We can all agree to that.
Jack wasn't. No,
not at all. One of the few pictures you can find of Ann Bonnie where she actually has a shirt on.
Oh my gosh.
The reason why, she used to basically flash the man she just shot, to show that they were about to die by the hand of a woman. Told you, she was kind of a badass.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I told you she was a badass. Obviously,
I like
her hair color is red. I'm sure you guys can see that.
Of course.
Okay, so I was thinking the entire time that her hair was red, but nothing said red to me. I just thought that she had a redhead.
I also said she came from Ireland, and the trope for an Irish woman is red hair, green eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did hear red.
Did you?
In that. But we were right here.
coming up, and I didn't think anything.
Silence.
Red. But then I thought, well, you said red could mean anything.
It can. That's why we always look for those extra things, unless of course it's a direct answer. And what color was your hair? And then you hear red, then we'll take it. Names of her parents: William Cormack, Mary Brennan. This was not another subliminal trick with the name Mary. We just happen to have two in the story. Now, Mary Brennan, just so you know, was a servant for the Cormack family. If you wanted to guess how Dad met Mom, you would be correct. But it's another 30-minute scandal we don't need to discuss because it's not relevant to piracy. I'm just bragging about how much research I do on these people. I know.
I do get WC a lot on that, but I never thought anything of it. It's somebody's initials. Could it have been William Cormack? What's his last name?
Cormack.
Is it a K or a C?
It's a C.
I got a WC when I walked in here.
Okay, I'll
I
definitely
didn't
write
think
it down.
anything.
Yeah, that's why you gotta tell me all this shit.
Well, you didn't say initials. You told me to say words. Okay.
She's like, I quit.
I'm
taking
my information going home.
All this stuff. The city where she grew up in Ireland, if you ask her what city she grew up in, she will correct you and say the word county. It was in County Cork. So we've seen where she's actually corrected us several times. So I actually throw that back to you in that exact format of go ahead and ask her what city she grew up in. County's much easier to grab than the word Cork coming out of one of those red spirit boxes. So let's talk about Calico Jack, because everybody wants to see what they based Johnny Depp off of. Now, Calico Jack, he's named that because of the jackets that he wore. They came from British captains that he killed. His father was a tailor, which means textiles are important to the Rackham family. Calico Jack today in modern English means fancy jacket. That's where the name came from. The name of his ship that you guys were hopefully asking about was called the Kingston. I do not expect the word Kingston to come out of most of the devices that we're using tonight. Just the spirit box that you're using, your little noise box, only because it does pick up more disembodied voices than the others. The word king would suffice here, like what color is a big red barn kind of mentality. So again, they're going to grab with whatever they can. We don't hear the word king very often, but when we do, it's usually a direct answer. So pretty cool stuff when it does show up. So here's what's going to happen at the next stop. We're going to be doing the Estes method. Are you guys familiar with this? Yes? No? Okay.
What is it?
The Estes method?
Yes.
No.
I'm glad Lily's
I have
all
no
about
clue.
it because she's going to be part of it. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take Lily, and she's going to sit on a bench. And I'm going to leave her there for a minute and hand her a blindfold. And then I'm going to teach the rest of you, well, two of you, basically the history of who we're trying to contact. And then we're going to come back, and she's going to put that blindfold on, and I'm going to talk to her as if she's the ghost that I just told you about. She's not going to know anything about the location. She's obviously going to be blindfolded, and it is just to heighten her listening sense. So there's going to be somebody else that's sitting next to her, Connie. What she's going to be doing, because she's going to be taking part in this too, but in a different way. You're going to be wearing a virtual reality cam, and that's going to generate images through artificial intelligence using the EMF that'll be around us, just like the device, or just like your little Ouija board device.
So you see a stick man?
No, the Stickman camera is in there.
Okay.
So, this is totally different. This is actually meant to all be on one person, so while somebody's listening to the spirit box, they're supposed to be looking for the images as well. It's too much stimulation for people that don't do this on a regular basis, aka muggles.
Okay.
So that's why I separated it.
Muggles.
So,
I want to be Harry Potter.
but those images that you're going to see are hopefully going to be relevant to the conversation that me and Lily are hopefully going to have.
Okay.
Now, this can work out in one of two ways. We have a full-blown conversation, and every image you see is going to paint 1,000 words for us, so that way it correlates with what is actually happening. Or this could just be super silly, where she's going to give me silly answers to the questions that I'm asking. So the two of you are going to know the history, because you're going to be coming with me. These two will not. And I'm also not going to tell them the history tonight. You're going to have to wait for the video or the audio, or for your, obviously, partner, the people you came with, to tell you how relevant it actually was in real time. So it is super fun either way, whether it's it's successful or not. I do keep them under for 10 minutes. And of course, you guys are going to play a part in this. Obviously, we're filming with a much better camera that'll be a little bit more clear. You're going to be keeping an eye on your devices for sure, because sometimes if I'm not getting the answers out of Lily, it might show up on your word list. In that spirit box, you can listen to it on the way there, because we're going to be walking about 2.5 blocks, but I'll take it from you once we get to the park.
Okay.
And I think that about covers it. So you can go ahead and stop your cam. By the way, on the way, I put these on the back of your device on purpose. A lot of people ask me for my business card at the end of this. I don't have business cards. Those QR.
Fuck.
It's a click. It's very sensitive.
Lemon. Any lemons?
Yeah.
I've hit it a couple of times.
Yeah, most people like hold it too long, and that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, no, I hit it short.
Yep.
I hit it long.
Just feel it click and release. Okay, let's go talk to the guy.
All right.
Alright, let's see what happens here. Anybody here?
That's no question. I'm going to catch you every time.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, who is here?
Pirate tomorrow.
All right.
Okay.
Blindfold.
I think so.
No.
No?
You failed.
No.
Well, the little thing broke off. So we figured that would work.
This here in the center. Oh.
It's a Batman mask because I figured a lot of ladies would be sitting here not even moving their hair. I was watching.
Aww.
Oh, you put that around your ears.
Around your ears.
I was wondering about
Well,
the
hey, it would have worked either way. There was no fail to it. I just put it on my head.
All right, Susan, come on in. Let's see how this is going to go.
All right, how do I do this?
All right, hang on. We're not there yet. So first and foremost,
Oh, I got the
couple
word
of
oh
things.
stand.
You're not going to be able to hear us.
Yes.
You're going to need a few cues of what to expect. Get out of here.
No, it is what it is.
The code word for Dr. Lack. Sorry,
Oh,
just not
Hey doctor, how are you? How come I'm
so
not reading
when
you online?
you're speaking too loud, mom's going to tap you on the shoulder. You have neighbors. I try not to listen to mom. And most people, when they have both headphones on, can't hear anything. They speak loud. When we're done, she's going to tap you on the leg. You take off your own gear. I will never touch you. So you're not going to do it. I don't do this experiment unless we have a minimum of 4 people. You guys actually lucked out. Just kind of letting you guys know. So if there's only 2 of you here, there's no point. We just kind of do a mock session with blindfolds, so that way everybody feels safe. When you get started, you're going to turn up your volume loud enough where you can't hear me. I'll ask a few silly questions just to make sure you can't hear me. And then that's when I basically start the timer. As far as yours go, you're going to see, have you ever done virtual reality before?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not going to be the Jurassic Park with pictures and pictures. So this is going to be a galaxy that's off in the distance, and every once in a while a picture will show up. It looks like it's moving around, generating. You're going to explain what that picture is in the simplest terms possible. And say it slowly because you love to describe things in great detail. Sorry, I pay attention.
No, I do.
So 2 ladies bench a tree. In the event she's not saying much, which I don't think is going to be a problem, because she did really well with that spirit box tonight, I may ask you probing questions. What are the ladies wearing? What's their race? Give me a time error. Give me details and facts. But keep it simple at first. So let me see the phone out of there. I'll get it started. That out. You're going to hang on to that. Just so you know, blindfold for you, then headphones. Crank up your volume, and I'll start asking you silly questions. Let's see. So for yours, with your virtual reality, in case you're going to use this model tool, this is your focus. So in case you get an error query, just turn that wheel wherever it is the focus. And then you have 2 little thumb things underneath it where you can move it forward and backwards. I usually have to move it forward. So when you get in there, all you're going to have to do is look straight ahead and wait. You might get 0 images, you might get all the way up to 12. The average is about 4, just so you have that idea. And I sanitize the hell out of that thing every single day. But after COVID, I was already sanitizing things, but I took it an extra, like, I'm going to sanitize things twice a day now. Because after I'm done touching it,
I got grandsons. I'm not worried.
I get it. Slide that back in. You can put that weapon to your habit. Or turn it backwards. Okay, you got a way to get that thing over your head? Okay, blindfold down, crank up your volume. It is 11:21 on the dot. Zoe, first off, can you hear me? What color is the blue banana? Perfect. Okay, you gotta make sure she can hear me. Okay. Henry Timrod, did you bring Dr. Lager with you? If so, you know he has a code word. We see it in one of our little boxes here, but if you could say the code word again.
Virtually?
That's not something you would know, but yes, we're using a virtual reality.
Asking for it.
Okay. Who do I have here with me? Do I have Henry Timrod or Dr. Ladd? Give me your first name, please, so I know how to address you.
Story word? One boy in the room.
brought one gentleman with me tonight. Got that figured out, Connie?
Yeah. I mean, can I put on my glasses? Let me see something.
Randolph?
You can fit him under there.
No, good shot.
Yeah, I didn't think they would.
No, it worked. I just couldn't see that. I could see better
What
this
was that
way.
last page?
Inhale.
Henry. We're trying to make this nice and simple. I just need to know who's here first. Henry, if you're here, you can let us know what your occupation is. Dr. Ladd, same for you. That will help identify if you can't find your own name within the frequencies.
N-word.
Henry.
Crickets. Loud something.
She gets any louder?
Sorry.
It usually startles them, I'm sorry. Just want to give them the heads up.
Death.
Henry, you know we're only here for a short
Young
amount of time.
men and women.
You can give us anything relevant to your occupation, including, I told you we're using a new box. It's blue now with the visuals. If you want to give us an image, the box is blue. That's Connie. She can see whatever you want us to see. The other phone is green.
Pretty.
No. Just like us out of nowhere. That'll make it even that much more exciting. Henry?
Every day.
Yeah, I'm here every day. That's how this goes, Henry. Henry, we heard some sounds out of the church earlier. Can you tell us what those sounds were?
War crimes.
What were the sounds that we heard out of the church?
5-5.
Henry or Dr. Ladd was simply looking for verification that one of you is here. You always come with respect.
John? I'm sorry.
Henry, do you need me to give you that recognition by reading a stanza of your work?
For me.
Henry, continue to
Next time.
try to find something relevant to your work. And in the meantime, I'll read a quick stanza just to give you some recognition. We'll stroke that ego for you a little bit.
Revenge.
Revenge. Give it a Dr. Ladd.
War.
We know not in the temple of the fates, God will inscribe her doom. All in trouble, in her fate, she waits. Triumph, tomb. What is that relatable to, Henry? Talk to us. I know the meaning of it.
Help.
You can describe it for us. I know that was in relevance to the Civil War, waiting for it to be over to see Charleston's fate. Tell us when it was written. I'd be okay with that too.
Really different?
What's really different? You got any images at all, Connie?
Oh, am I supposed to tell you?
Oh yeah, in real time. What have you had?
Okay, I have, it looks like fireflies, moon,
Male?
orbs everywhere in a forest, a red and black forest.
Our
I
neighbors.
have, there could be fire behind there.
That's
Yeah.
the first image you had.
That's the first image I had. The second image I had was a girl who looked like Popeye's girlfriend. What was her name?
Olive oil.
Yep. And a boy in the distance with a black hat looked like something you'd see in England, and the little boy that ran with the newspapers. And
Before I
then
came to you.
a woman, and there's no faces on the two women. They're standing, and one's wearing like the Statue of Liberty dress, And then there was like an alien fellow.
1993.
But he had a rope to the lady's dress. Now I'm back to what looks like flames and fire with orbs going around and little fireflies.
Henry, notice?
I can see buildings.
Henry, it's been about 6 minutes, almost 7. Running out of time. Gave you a little bit of
Imperative.
Gave you a little bit of recognition a short day ago. I read some of your poetry. All I was asking for out of you is to tell me what you did for a living.
You asked.
I did ask.
This is
Buildings behind the flames. No, it looks like a castle wall.
proactive.
Henry, we're running out of time. None of these clues make sense to me whatsoever. And we'll all be able to see the images, by the way, that Connie sent.
Yeah.
And they'll also be in the report.
Oh, hopefully I described them right.
Well, that's why I have you guys describe them in real time. It's hysterical. Have you guys describe shit? Henry, running out of time here, sir. I asked you about the church. I asked you about your occupation.
I can see a castle.
Down inside. Scripture.
It looks like England.
Got another picture?
No, it's the same from the very beginning of it.
Really?
Yeah, the girls, the
God
people
bless.
left, and this is just staying there. And then I'm seeing more of the tower.
Like those pictures, like just show up like for like 15 seconds and then they fade away.
No,
Henry, what's the sound we're hearing right now? Give us what we're hearing out of the church. Yeah, and that's a new phone that I've had to use on there because I had to rearrange some things in the new phones. The apps weren't available and others could.
no, I love it.
But those images should fade away to where you're seeing a galaxy in the distance where it looks like there's stars moving around.
No, it looks like little fireflies. Oh, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the galaxy in the background. That's just the background.
No, behind it, it's staying the same, but it became an image of towers, like from England.
Art
Like
attack?
churches.
It should be in front of it, not behind it.
Ponderelli.
No, it's behind it. And
I
then
haven't gotten to all the big trees.
the orbs are all going around it, like
This
moves.
is a whole, like everything that's going on right now. Like I don't think she's had any.
Garden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So she's describing basically the background that's in there. And it
Okay.
moves around. So it might look like a hidden sheet or something. I'll be able to see if she actually had any images or not.
Dreams.
Nothing's going on here other than the word war that came
Your
up,
Highness.
And even then it's very vague.
Breathe.
I do like the fact that the word purple showed up for you,
Yeah.
but I don't have
1017.
relevant to Dr. Ladd whatsoever going on. Your EMF
Oh,
is
I
vague.
got an image. It's
Medical consultation.
Dr. Ladd.
it's
Our
it
Lord.
looks like a bed.
Okay.
It has green curtains on the side. No, it looks like a chase line. Yeah.
979.
Oh, there's a penguin. Oh, and there's a little squirrel. Squirrel. There's a penguin and a squirrel. Oh, let's come back to my castle wall.
We're at 10 minutes.
Okay.
Susan kind of walked away to see if she could get another readout from Connie. I'm gonna have to
Disappear.
I'm gonna have to have her let her know.
Hey, you're here.
Alright, so I think most of what you were describing, so go ahead, Jerry, and stop your camera at this point. I think